10 minutes. Today we're going to do some code forces problems. Nothing new, some 1300s, nothing much. We are going to do some 1300 problems so that we are able to do A and B comfortably enough due to contest, and then we try for C. Okay, so we pick any, we don't see the topics, okay? We pick any random, what is this? Difficulty solved, okay. I can hide the, I can hide the topics, but it's fine. We just don't need to see that. And then let's see, two prop. So, okay, I'll try for half an hour. I should solve it in 30 minutes, otherwise I see the solution, okay. Okay. You are given a strip. I keep the timer on the other screen. Okay. So I started voting. Okay, you're given a strip divided into cells, numbered from left to right from 0 to 10 power 18. Initially, all cells are void. You can perform following operation. Choose two void cells, IJs, the I not J, I minus J. Basically, okay, and paint them black. List A is given. All cells from this list must be painted black. Additionally, at most one cell that is not in this list can also be painted black. Your task is determine minimum value of k for which this is possible. Okay, okay, we need to find a k. Okay, let's say example. With k equals to 1, it's possible to paint the cells 1 to 1 to. There are two cells. Okay, n is okay. So we have strip into cells numbered. YouTube is not currently receiving data for this. If you believe, I don't know what's the issue. Not really. If you believe that this is an ensure you are sending a stream that is configured with the correct stream key. YouTube health is excellent. YouTube health is excellent. Okay, I'm ignoring this. I'll check it later. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. So let's check. I have an 2000 and then n across does not exceed the test cases 2000. Okay, so that means I can solve it in n squared too if I need to, because 4 into 10 to the power 6 is also an acceptable solution. Okay. You've given string divided into cells numbered from left to right 0 to 18. Okay, all cells are void. I see. Okay. So initially n equals to 2. Okay, n equals to 2. What does this mean? N equals to 2. So I have two cells. And then it's telling 1 and 2 needs to be painted black. hmm Painted black. Okay. So 1 and 2 needs to be painted black. That means k equals to 1. We just select 1 and 2 and then we paint it black. Okay. And then let's say 1 and 7. What is this test case? Such a useless test case. 1, 7. Okay. And then what the hell? 7 is not even there. Why do you want to? Second example, k equals to 1. It's possible to paint cells. 7. What is n? Oh, right. It is just the n is just the second array. Okay, okay, okay. 1 and 2. So, okay, okay. The list, the size of the list is n. Okay, fine, fine. Okay, so the infinite grid is there. Number. Infinite is in 0 to 10 power 18. Okay, okay. So the grid is always there, 0 to 10 power 18, all white, and then it's telling me 7 to just uh, make it black, paint it black. Mm, Yeah, well, so this is possible. Okay. So what did it say for 7? 7, it said, in second example, with k equals to 1, it is possible to paint the cells 7 to 8, 7 and 8. Okay, so it's telling it's possible that one extra cell can be painted. Mm, at most, one cell that is not in the list can also be painted. Okay, fine. So it can print. Let's say 249. 249, what's the maximum gap? 2 and then 4 and 9, the gap is 5. So I need a 5 gap. So what if number of operations, how many can we do? Okay, so there's no limit on number of operations. So I know, let's say n is even, then every time I paint two cells, right? Okay, n is even or odd. I don't think it matters. Okay, let's say n is even. Let's say n equals to 2, and then I painted in my first time I painted two cells, and in my second time I again painted two cells, out of which one is common. Then you can paint three cells. Okay, so we can always paint three uh, n cells, or we can paint n plus one cells. Is that right? Yeah. So let's say n equals to 3. So we can paint three cells or four cells. If n equals to 4, we can paint four cells or five cells. So to paint three cells, how many moves do we need? So 3 by 2 upper bound. So we need two moves to paint three cells if one is common. Can we paint? Yeah. So we would need three second moves. So there's this painted, and then again this common one used and painted. To paint four cells, I think the moves. Actually, I can. Okay, so the moves we cannot find out directly because we can paint the already painted cell, but we can't. It's telling choose two white cells and paint them black. Okay, fine. So I think we can find out the moves. So if we want to paint three cells, we cannot. Not possible. If we want to paint four cells, it is possible. Two moves. N equals to 4, then 4 and 5 can be the answer. We want to paint 4 cells, it's possible in 2 moves. If we want to paint 5 cells, not possible. Okay, understood the question now. And let's try to understand how to solve this. AI can be very big, 10 to the power 18, less than 10 power 18. Okay. It is possible to paint. Okay, let's see the answer for this. 3, 2, 4, 9. So we can paint 4 cells. We cannot paint 3 cells. So we want to paint 4 cells. So 2, 4, and 9 I have to paint. I can paint something more. So 2, 4 the gap is 2 and 4, 9 the gap is 5. Why don't I paint 7 and then 7, 9 the gap is 2 and then 4, 7 the gap is 3. So maximum with 3. What's the answer for this? It's 2. How come? Okay, it's possible to paint 2, 4, and oh, right. Why am I checking the gap between this? Yeah, I can just put 7 and I can put a 7 comma 9, or I can use 8 and I can do a 8, 9 sorts. Okay, okay, okay. I think I understood the question. One more example, please. So 1, 5, 8, 10, 13. Okay. So there are how many? Five? Oh, okay, five. That means we can paint six. So where is the sixth gonna be? So we have to find it. So 1 5 the gap is 4, and then 5 8. Where do I find 5 8? I don't need to find 5 8. I will have to get 8 10. 8 10 gap is 2, and then 13 and something. The gap is whatever. Okay. So if I try to, I will definitely not take, leave. Uh, it's always not better. Can we take not consecutive pairs like if we sort and then we take elements which are non-consecutive as a pair? So that is a terribly bad idea. We don't want it to be way too big. So the difference between them to be big, the distance between them to be big. So we take consecutive. So either this even wala pairs or the odd wala pairs. So the other pair is 5 8 pair, and then but we leave out one then, and then 10 13 pair. What's the 5 8 pair? 3 and 10 13 3. Okay. So initially it was 4 and 2. So if we take 5 8 pair is 3, and then 10 13 pair is 3, then I can just 1 comma 2, and then the answer can be 3. Okay, but there's one thing. If I put another element in the between 8 10 13, you suddenly put a x over here, how does the thing changes? So if we have taken the first type of pairing, it will change time and time. But if we have taken the second kind of pairing, it won't change. Okay, we can do it in n square, right? Okay, we can use that fact. So put the n wherever, solve it in O of n, then put the n wherever you solve. Yeah, I think that should work. So you put the n over here to make pairs. Cut, and then what about the even case? The even case is simple, right? You just have to make pairs and then find out the minimum. That is simple. For the odd case, even is simple. Simple. For the odd case, I have to think a little. So I have one element which I can put anywhere, and then check. So why don't I put one element to the checking? You have n square moves, right? So I put it here, I check it. So once I put the n element, it's basically even, and even is easy to check. So let's write the function directly. I don't think it's super complicated. I can directly write the function. So where's my online editor? Okay. I have a code template already. I will use that. So this is my code template. I will directly use that, and then and okay, I have a function to solve for even. Okay, so in find min test, it takes a factor int. I just give a reference to this. This is for even case only. So I start making pairs and k equals to 0. I find the max distance. It is sorted, right? If it's not sorted, let's sort it. Sort. Yeah, we can. Yeah, dot end. So, okay, I equals to less than I plus, sorry, I plus equals to 2. And then the difference is k equals to max of k comma plus 1 minus the difference, 10k maximum. Okay, we'll do for the even case. Okay, now if n modulo 2 is equal to 0, I just see out finding test of air and that's it. Else, this is the odd part. So let's make a vector. Vector int br equals to air and then we insert at different positions. Uh, sorry, I am getting a call. Okay, okay, okay. I will just. Okay, I got a call. I think I'll reply to that. And so the odd case, I think we understood. Okay, let's finish these two questions. So this question is nearly done. I just need to make the new vector. How do we insert? Br dot insert at some position. Insert. I forgot how to insert in C++. How do we insert in a vector in C++? So insert function. Okay, let's see here. Dot insert begin. Oh, we have to give the iterator. It requires iterator pointing to the insertion position as the argument. Oh, okay, and then we can do the. Okay, fine, 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 fine. So okay, so we just run a loop where to insert for anti I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. We are dot insert. We can also insert in the end, right? So we are inserting here. 0 means we are inserting before 0. And minus 1 we are inserting just before n. We can also insert after. So let's run it. Okay, okay. I don't know how to insert. I don't know. Does it work? Where did we search right now? I'm searching. Okay. Okay. I just closed the window. Okay. So the battery is low. I will just put it on charge and then we continue. Okay. Yes. So we are dot insert. I just don't know how to insert in the end. We do a pushback or the insert works. So let's. I'll do a pushback. Okay. Such a weird thing. Edge cases and the functions. I don't know how it works. So let's do we are dot begin plus I, comma, and then we insert what? What do we insert it exactly? I think, I think. Okay, okay. So what are we trying to do? Whenever we insert at a position, we are trying to target the element next to it or previous to it. Hmm. Let's say I have 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 11. Then if I insert here, I'm basically targeting 1. So I need to. Okay, okay. Okay. Let's say we have consecutive numbers 5, 6, 7. We have 1, 3, and then 11, 13. We have like this 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can reduce the distance to 6 anyhow because. Uh, and I was thinking if in the odd array, I remove a element, any random element, and then check will that work? I think that should also work. Okay, okay. So if I have a unpainted ball in the before or after a cell, I definitely know that that cell won't be actually adding any will have any effect over k because I can minimize that to how much ever I want. But let's say it does not have, it has elements consecutive to it before and after. Then how do I do that? And then the answer is that the k is going to be 1, and then it does not need to be reduced any further. So doesn't matter. So we can remove one element and then we can find out the. Okay, I think that's the better approach. So we just remove any one of the elements. Okay, and now I have to say the code how to remove an element from erase. Oh, okay. This is simple enough. Okay, and it's supposed to be a file. Let's take the number before it here age here taking plus I and we raise this and then we check finding this. Let's put it in answer 19. Minimum will be 1 as we know, and then answer equals to minimum answer from find this. And what do we send here? We send here. Okay, and then that should work. We can add the element back. Here dot insert begin plus I removed it and then I'm trying to add it here. What happens if I add here? Yeah, then I add the 6 and then I see out answer and then okay. I hope this should work. Okay, run it. Line 61. What's line 61 saying? Find min test. Min test. This is mind test. Mind test. This is not mind test. Okay, right. 1011. Okay, this is the wrong answer. What should the answer be? 1123. Let's say 1. Why is it 0? Okay, let's see. Let's say 0 because how can it be 0? I just made it 1, right? This is odd, and then we remove. Okay, so blank array. We are sending a blank array. It's fine. We say min. Okay, here also I should put that condition. K equals to 1. Then it finds max. 1111. Okay, again, weird answer. Let's say why not 2? So it went here. This is odd. What it did, we removed 2, checked for this. This is 5. Didn't work out. Remove this, check with this, again we remove this, and check 2. But it's not doing that. Why is it not doing that? Let's just print the answers. Let's say if the vectors are getting printed properly. 492924. 492924. Okay, that is correct. And what is it returning? It's returning k equals to max of k comma array I plus 1. Okay. and then it return. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Here I'm finding the name, right? So I just put a really big number. Then okay, okay. Sounds like it's good. Okay, what I do is I remove this and then I run it again and let's see it works. 1123. Okay, I will just submit this. Oh, this works. You're not allowed to view the requested page. Why? Because I didn't enter? I think so. Okay, so the problem said, thankfully I copied it. Otherwise, it given me hard time. Okay, and now we can go and submit. Let's submit. There was a time, I think it was sponsored by something else, Telegram. I think. Okay, I think it might fail, but we move on to the other question. And then we will see the hint or solution to the previous one if it fails. And then I continue. Okay, I started 45. Mm, okay, it's accepted. Okay, fine. After a trip with Sakuraku. So if you can solve 1300 questions in a contest, you'll be able to solve A and B pretty quickly, and then you can give time to C. And then if C is solved in like 45 minutes or hour, you have some time still left for D. Okay. So that way, but you don't give up on the contest, you try to solve D, not of div 3, definitely div 2, and then you really try to solve D version during the contest, and then in few contests, you'll be able to solve D too. Okay. After trip with Sakurako, Kosuke was very scared because he forgot about his programming assignment. In this assignment, the teacher gave him a number of non-overlapping segments of the array A, says that each array is considered beautiful. Okay. In this assignment, the teacher gave him an array A of n integer, asked him to calculate number of non-overlapping segments of the array. Non-overlapping segments. Okay. So that each segment is considered beautiful. Segment L to R is considered beautiful if L to AR is equal to 0. For a fixed array, your task is to compute the maximum number of non-overlapping beautiful segments. Okay. First line input is T, and the list case consists of two lines. First line N, the length of array. Second line integers, minus 10 to about 10 to 5 elements of the array. It's guaranteed that the sum of n does not exist in 10 to 5. Okay, fine. For each test case, output a single integer number of non-overlapping beautiful changes. So, why is this problem tough? I don't understand. This is just a segment equals to 0, right? We just need to count that. So for here, if you count, this is 0, and then, okay, okay. Okay, this is not, it's like a standard question, but you need to solve it. Okay, okay. I don't want to see the topics on the right hand side. That is slightly distracting. Problem tags, but I try to. 10 to the power 5. What if I use a two-pointer approach? I keep increasing until it's zero. But this issue, okay. So if I keep increasing, if it's not zero, I keep. There's no way to check actually. So okay, okay. I have to complete this problem. Okay. So okay, let's think two-pointer approach. What happens with the two-pointer approach? Okay. So J J increases and J increases. Come on, is this zero? Is this zero? Is this zero? I keep increasing it. Now this is zero. And then what I'll do is move I. That's what I'm thinking. I move I. How much should I move? I move one, and then I keep increasing J, and then see if it's zero. Why do I keep increasing J? You can even need to reduce J. So there's the problem. So if I keep increase I, if I go to the next I might need to decrease J, and then increase the I again, and now yeah, so that's the problem, right? I don't know which direction to go. And if this is, maybe I had increased and I have raised at zero again. Okay, so what I do is I do a prefix sum. I think that's the best way. Prefix sum, and then I can just count the number of minus that. Okay, so the prefix sum, let's say at a point is x, and I can find that in the past there has been, let's say in the past there has been x in the prefix sum and it has occurred, let's say, four times. So what I can do is I can go to all those prefixes and then remove them from the current whole segment taken from the left. So I have taken a current prefix which has a sum x, and then there in the past in the prefix in the left hand side there has been prefix sums of x, let's say, four times. Out of whatever out of those four, we can take one of those prefix, and what I do is I remove the prefix from the current thing. I get a subarray. That sum should be zero because I just removed the x sum prefix from a x sum bigger prefix, so it'll be x minus x equals to zero. So I can just maintain a count, and I think that's simple enough. I can just have okay. I think this question is pretty simple. I don't know why this is 1300. I think if somebody has been seeing it for the first time, for them it might. Okay, so I have n and array. Okay, so and n, n, and this is my favorite part where I get to type code. And then I have the prefix sound that variables to there. And what I do is until one I less than n I plus prefix 5 plus equals to prefix so I minus 1. Okay. And then I have a prefix sum ready. What I do is I need a map into MP where I maintain the frequency. I call it map. Okay. And then I just add a frequency of 0 as 1 because we all know that if we don't take any prefix, there's always 1 having the prefix 0 because if we don't take it. And then I have an answer with 0. How big can the answer be actually? So the uh, answer actually can be big, right? In square, if I say 10 to the power 10 max. So it's fine. We have already taken long as it, so it doesn't matter. And then I just go over and I just one. Sorry, I'll go for 0. I less than n I plus plus, and then I check in my map. So answer plus equals to how ever times the current thing has been already there. Then in the map, I just go there and then I increase it. Okay, simple enough. And then see out answer. And okay, okay. And then just put an input here. 45. Line 45. Vector int array. What's the issue here? Oh, right. Instead of writing in a function here, I wrote it somewhere else. Wait, I'll just copy it here. Or I'll make it void function. It's definitely void func. Okay. Okay, we are not printing anything for some reason. Okay, let's see. Less than I have what are we taking as an so we are taking five and then five numbers, seven, then one, two, three, four, five, six, seven numbers. Okay, that's what I did. And then as you know, child person ARI, then prefix equals to I1, this is prefix minus one works, then I have NP of zero is one, that is better. And then answer is zero, I less than zero, then I plus plus and so NP of prefix of I, okay, and NP of prefix of I plus plus. Okay, fine. Looks good, looks good. And then this should work too. Okay. See out answer. I didn't print me anything. Is that is it taking test cases? Yeah, and then it's calling func. It's good. Okay, it should be void. Not okay. 3 to 5. What is hmm, 1, 2, 3? Okay, doesn't really make sense. Well, printed 3 to 5. Why is this 3? Okay, let's check. So the prefix on 2, 1 minus 3. Total number of non-overlap segments. Okay, there's some total number. Might have calculated overlap. Okay. What does it mean? Non-overlap. Okay, maximum number of. Okay, understood. So we have to be slightly creative. But I will find here if I can find. I find try to find as soon as possible. I find something here. then anything I have before this should be of no use. Okay. 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 So I just need to mark this as 0 or 1, not plus plus. I just mark it as 1. Also, I don't need to add it to. Yeah, yeah, we can. So if MP of prefix of I. So if it is present, then I know there's one more segment, right? And let's put it here. Put the I. Initially in the MP, what do we do? Let's insert. Feed out insert. Feed out begin. We can just insert as 0. And now everything is one index, right? So we need to add indexes. So MP of 0 equals to 0. Let's make everything in MP as -1 first. For and let's belong to 3 MP of x equals to -1. Okay. And then MP of 0 equals to 0. Okay. So have this. If I can find this is greater than the last, there should be a last index where the last subarray. Okay, if it is greater than last, I can say that answer plus plus. And how do I increase last? So, okay, every time we make this last is equals to I, right? Okay, mm, okay. And then MP of this current value, 3 of I can make it as I. Yeah, right. This works. So I have to have and last equals to -1. Last is equal to 0 because we're going to put a condition if NP of 3 the value is there, everything is -1, right? So if I check if it is greater equals to last, then only I do answer this. And then I update my last question. But what if it is not? What if it's not? I do have to do this line, the lower line. It's not lost. I just tell it that this is I now. And then I don't do anything. I go forward. Okay, and then okay. MP was not declared. Well, okay, okay. 101. Okay, why is it 123? It's only 101. Not fair. Let's see the last key. 0 minus 4, 0, 3, 0, 1. So what I did was I made 0 minus 4 minus 4 minus 1 minus 1, 0. And then, okay, when this automatic 0, then it does not need a previous thing. It can just use itself to become a 0. So otherwise, yeah, but sure. So what I did is I added 0 here, and then I started from 1. I know the last was 0. Answer is 0. I started from 1. And then my map, initially everything is minus p of 0. I found it as 0, which is greater equals to larger. Answer equals to 1. And then MP of p I again 1 over. It goes to the next I equals to 2. MP of 3. It finds minus 4 is minus 1, and it is not greater equal to the last. What's the last? Last is last I updated, right? So last equals to 1. Yes. So not wrong. Okay, fine. So it just does MP of minus 4 is equals to I. 2. Okay. Again minus 4. So it checks MP of 3 greater equals to last. Is it greater equals to last? Sorry, MP of 3, yeah, MP of minus 4, 2 is greater. Yeah, it's greater equals to last. The answer becomes 2, and then last becomes 3. Becomes 3 here. And then it does MP of minus 4 pointing to 3. Answer is already 2 and is printed 1. Hmm. I don't understand what's happening. Let's just do the last and check what's happening. Let's print everything. I then I then okay. 1 0. I is 1 and P of 3 is 0. Last is 0. Minus 1 is equals to 1. Okay. Comes here. 3 minus 1. Okay, this is the problem. All right. What the hell? Okay. I made the textbook mistake over here. I used to think, who are those idiots who make these mistakes? Turns out I made that mistake. Okay, submit and then submit. Sub- Okay, I think two problems in like